Hello everyone. This cultivation game, Tale of Immortal, is having its third anniversary currently, and it is 30% off on the Steam. Not only this, but on the 1st of February it will be on Nintendo Switch. And currently if you pre-order it online, you will get 10% off on the Switch shop. So this video will be for those people who want to try this game, but are hesitating maybe because of the mixed reviews or just don't know what does this game provide them. And as for myself, if you ask me, do I recommend this game? I hardly even play this game, so should I say no? Well, jokes apart. So this video we will first give a very brief introduction about what does this game do, like what do you expect you can play in this game, and then we will be focusing on why does this game have mixed reviews, even though I think it's a very, very good game. And finally, we will talk about the English translation issue, which I know is an important thing for many international players. And at the very end, I will give very few small tips for the first-time players who start to play this game. So without further ado, let's get into the introduction part. So Tale of Immortal is an open-world sandbox type of game. So you can control your character to walk around in this great world called Huang World. And as you can see, if you open the map, you will start from the Baiyuan village with some new players guiding. And then you can come to the Yongling village. You can visit different cities and towns. You can join a sect, which is very important. And then you can improve your cultivation levels. So just like in a typical cultivation novel fiction you might find online, you will start as a qi refining cultivator, and then you will need to defeat different enemies to find the correct material so that you can break through to higher cultivation levels such as foundation, qi condensation, and during this journey you will come through Yongling region, through the laser to Huafeng region, and then you pass 100,000 hills to the Yunbo region, you go through the Everfrost, go to Muxian region, and finally, passing the Wayward Desert, you will reach the final region, Chiyu region, and in the end, you will come to the Tianyuan mountain. So there are a lot of side quests and small events during this cultivation journey, such as this, and also there are some main quests that you might need to finish in order to progress. However, you can freely choose when do you want to finish those quests. And most importantly, there are a lot of NPCs for you to create your own story. There are many NPCs in this game. Each of them have their own personality, so which determines how they will interact with you. They have their own skills, they have their own item, they have their own family. You can find out who are their family and who are their friends and enemies. You can even find out their backstory. You can look at what do they do during this time where you are cultivating. And of course, you can have many different ways to interact with these NPCs. You can talk with them, you can form a relationship with them. For example, this NPC, it is my master, I am her disciple. You can also do a cultivation, debate, spar, and also invite them for a date. Just like this. So you can always create your own stories with NPCs. Sometimes they can be very, very interesting. As for the battle system, I want to use this battle as an example. So I'm against a mythical monster. You can use your left mouse button for martial skill, right mouse button for special skill, space button for motion skill, and there's the ultimate skill if you press R, and you can use different elixirs as well as different artifacts in the battle. So as you can probably see from this example, I am summoning a phoenix, I am getting some different swords, some fire, and some wind. Yes, there are 12 different martial arts or spiritual rules in this game. Each of them has many different skills. For example, they have 3 different martial skills, 6 different special skills for each element out of the 12. And you can form many different builds. And it's not only just to click the button and defeat the enemy that easy, but if you add low difficulties, you don't need to worry about those things. Just get into the game, kill some enemies and enjoy. Well, if you are at higher difficulties, for example when you play the second time, you are welcome to visit my channel to find out what kind of builds you can make And in my humble opinion, this game does provide quite some depth in the battle system. So now we had a very brief introduction about what does this game provide you. Here I want to make some maybe controversial opinions that I want to clarify why does this game have a mixed review and why in my opinion this should not prevent you to buy this game and to enjoy it. So I will try to be as objective as possible, but of course I am simply a person, so it will be my own personal opinion. So if we click on the mixed reviews and if we choose show graph to look at the history, you can see that the game started in January 2021. And yeah, of course, it's 3 years before. This is 3 years anniversary. So before this giant bar here, so April 2022, you can see that most of the reviews for this game is positive. You can even say it's overwhelmingly positive reviews. So I think that means that this game is really good. And it was actually a very big success for a very indie small studio. And this, of course, attracts them a lot of enemies as well. And those enemies are just waiting for a chance that the developers make one mistake, and then they will strike and, you know, bring them a big problem. So, and indeed, the developer indeed made a mistake. And so, what happens around this time? If you look at those reviews around this time, they are all about one thing, that is mod workshop. In fact, we can also just go to the recent event announcement, this section, and here we go, 2022 April. So, Mod Maker 1.0 beta now on. And this is what brings the overwhelming negative review for this game. You know that Tale of Immortal, it is an open world sandbox game, which means you have quite some freedom in playing the game. However, as a player, we want more freedom, and usually we want different mods, all kind of mods, to help us to achieve things that we cannot achieve in the base game. And in fact, even before the official mod maker was on in 2022 April, you can already find quite a few different mods. For example, here 2021, 2021, 2021. Many of those are already there on this website. So there are already quite a few mods that are available on this website. Now, when the developers creating this their own mod maker, it is an official thing, and they did promise that they will do it officially on Steam to get Steam Workshop. However, they didn't. So instead of opening an official workshop on Steam, the developers, what they did is to create this button, mod button, and if you get into here, you can see this mod store. So back then, if you click on this mod store, you can of course add in some mod for yourself, but instead of directly going, direct you to the Steam workshop, it will direct you to their own website. And this, first of all, it is not something that they promised, because in their development plan, they did promise a Steam workshop. And no, this is not Steam workshop. That's what people find. It's their own website. And for the Chinese players, this induces another concern, is that if they are going to charge money for the mods on their own website, it is, to be honest, an unbounded concern, because there's no evidence that they are going to charge money for it. But there is a possibility. And the main point is more like this: you just need one small thing to ignite the fire. And yeah, then the backslash just came. Now, for the international players, there is another confusion there, because back then, when you go to their mod website, you need to provide your own phone number to register. I have no intention to defend the developer's actions here. I'm just trying to clarify this as a matter of fact, that requiring your phone number to register for the website, it is actually a common practice for most of the Chinese websites. For example, 3DM Game, if you want to download many of the modes here, you need to register. And to register, you would need your QQ number and or your phone number. It is what it is. It is bad. It is, damaging your privacy. Of course, this is completely wrong. But it is not something that especially wrong thing that only this game's developer has done. And most importantly, just 1 month later, in May 2022, the developers of this game have already released an official Steam workshop. And now you can just simply go to Steam community and then go to the workshop and download whatever mod you want. Everything's available on Steam. It's official, and there's no concern of losing your phone number, no concern of you have to pay for the mod, nothing. It's completely a non-issue anymore. That's why I don't think you should care about those reviews. A second reason, which is more a problem for international players that might causing them to leave a negative review, is just like this review said, game end playable. And yes, if you are an international player, once you bought this game, download it, and when you click on to play, you might find out that the game won't even launch. And this is sadly a problem that still exists. Fortunately, there's a very easy way to solve this problem. So what you need to do is to go to your Steam library, Steam apps, common, and go to the folder that this game is installed. And you can see that in my case, it's a Chinese characters, and this actually is related to another way to solve the problem, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Anyways, you will come to this folder and find this file called version.dll. And what you only thing you need to do is to delete it. Just delete this file and boom, problem solved. You can now enter the game. Isn't that very easy? Well, there might be a tiny issue that you cannot play the game with mod. As you can see, this game really struggles with mod. That is always a problem for negative reviews. Well, the thing is okay, I am not a technical person, so I cannot guarantee whatever I said is technically true, but version.dll, and there's something here called a melon loader, are the things you need for the mod, and there are some conflict between these two files and some version problem. You might be thinking, why don't they fix this problem? Isn't that very easy? Well, apparently, for many Chinese players, it's a different story. If they change the version of either these two files, those Chinese players cannot enter the game. So it's a balancing between these two. And I don't want to say that they prefer Chinese player. It's more like it's already been like this. So they just don't want to fix it and creating more problems, while the reviews are already pretty bad from the Chinese player side. However, there is another way to solve this if you want to play with mods. So for that, you need to, of course, keep version.dll. Do not delete it, because once you delete it, you cannot play with mod. But now, if you want to enter the game, what you need to do is to change this folder name. So instead of Chinese character, you want to change it into something English, no Chinese characters. And then you need to quit your Steam, because otherwise Steam will give you problems while you are doing the next step thing to do. So the next thing to do is to go to the folder Steam Apps and find this file, Steam Manifest 1468810, and you right click on this file and open it with any kind of text editor in this case, and you will find this install directory. And you can see in my case it's still the Chinese characters. Well, you need to change this one into that name you just given to that folder. And you save this file and then you restart your Steam, and this should solve your problem. The next question that bothers many international players is, does this game have English translation? Well, as you can see here, it has English translation. And if you enter the game, you do not find this, you need to go to settings, and here you choose the language, choose to English, and click OK here. Then you quit the game and enter again, you will get it. And if you still do not know what to do, there is a video in my channel, just follow what's showing that video. And about translation status, I can tell you that 99.99999% of this game has been translated. You might find on internet many people complaining the translation is not good. You can find a lot of Chinese characters, but that's because the translation takes time. And the status that this game has been mostly translated, it has been quite a few months now. So many of those reviews or comments are made bit earlier, and that's when the translation was not complete. And during this time, the translation status has been greatly improved. And for now, you can play this game without any problem, even if you do not speak a single Chinese. And in fact, if you go to my recent Let's Play series, just go through, there are something like 40-50 episodes now. If you find a single Chinese character there, let me know. Oh, about the translation problem, there's one thing I forgot to mention that you might already see previously in this video that some of the mods are in Chinese. Well, this is something that's, the mod maker's decision. But I think if you go to the Steam workshop, you might find quite some good English mods. Anyways, I hope this video have answered most of your questions about, should I buy this game? What does this game do? Why does this game have mixed reviews? How do I launch this game? And what's the translation status of this game? So finally, to end this video, let's get into some very tiny tips I will give to the first-time players. So here are a few suggestions from my side for the people who are first time playing this game. So when you create a character, so you should choose something good external trait if you want to have more interactions with NPCs. So things like loyal friend, caring, protective, traditional, family oriented, faithful, they are all pretty straightforward. And if you have those external traits, NPC will consider you as a good person. They will be more likely to interact with you, to like you more, and also to form a relationship with you, such as master-disciple relationship, or partners, or adoptive parents. Things like self-centered, carefree, basically means that you are not interested with anyone, and obviously they are not interested in to interact with you as well. And also avoid romantic. This is a bad trait. It's a bit confusing, but NPCs don't like romantic people. So as for internal traits, if you are some of the good ones, selfless, upstanding, kind, you are more likely to get along with people who have the similar stand. Similarly, if you are bad, wicked, selfish, and evil, you are more likely to get along with those evil NPCs. And for middle way, it's for everyone. Now, for the looks, I would suggest you just choose a look that you like rather than following some guide so that you can find the looks that's one special look with the highest charisma, because it's not worth it. Because charisma is something you can easily improve later in the game. And this basically is the same thing for most of other stats as well. Most of them you can easily improve later in the game. The only two which you should be focusing on when you're creating character is luck and insight. I would suggest you to have higher insight just so that it makes your learning manual process and the comprehension manual process much easier. So because of this, you are not needed to choose 3 red natural destinies, because most of the time red things are not necessarily better. Things like Scholar is a gray destiny, but it gives you 20 insight, so it's actually better than most of the red destinies. And also, finally, avoid this guy called Elder Dragon Aura. I know it looks very tempting, gives you attack, everything, and you seem to have a special, quest line. But the truth is, if you're first time playing this game, if you choose this, you are forced to become a sect leader. And in order to play this thing well, you are kind of forced to watch 2 of my videos, one is Sect Management Guide, another is Dragon Sect Guide. I know this will bring me more views, but it will be a waste of your time. I would suggest you to not choose this, choose something else, and get into the game, enjoy your cultivation time. Before the end of this video, I want to recommend 2 videos in my channel, the 10 tips to new players as well as the 25 more small tips to new players. So I believe both videos can be a great help to any of the new players to this game. Anyways, that will be everything. So thank you for watching. Please consider leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time.